During today's episode, we will be talking with Dr. Debra D Winans. She's the author of the highly recommended book, Life Altered, Not Over, My Silent Journey to Wholeness. She will take us on a journey of her life after divorce and her process of healing and restoration. So tune in. Hi, Amor. How are you?
Shelly, I am great, and thanks for having me on today.
All of you naysayers, I love you with the love of the Lord, but I have to.
It's my desire that it would change lives. I went on this, part of my journey was I started learning about the sovereignty of God. And I saw how big he really is. And I thought, so you mean to tell me, I know this, but I didn't know this. You can do whatever you want to do, for real. You can will whatever you want. You can change whatever you want. I don't need your permission. You are God, period. You are the sovereign king. When he began to paint that picture for me, like he said to Joe, where were you when I created the stars and the moon? Where were you? Where were you, Deborah? Where were you, girlfriend? You were nowhere to be found. You know, I was in him. Yes, I was in him. But who am I to question his methods? I don't understand his ways sometimes. I don't. He doesn't always give us the answers.
No.
But that's where our trust comes in.
Yeah.
And we have to trust that if he created the universe, he told me, Shelly, Deborah, you can't even breathe without my permission. You are God. You are God. And yet you live right here. Yet you'll speak to me. Yes, you'll open your word to me. You'll drop ideas. You'll give me ideas. You show me how to create things. You teach me about the marketplace and the kingdom. And wow, this huge God loves me that much that he knows when I'm hurting or my heart is broken. And when I cry over my babies, he's still there.
Yeah.
He is a very present help.
Yes.
He made us kings. He made us priests. He made us to be on top. He made us to think big. Right. He made us to want more. He did that.
Yeah.
We're not just, we're just trying to be humble and I don't need no, he put the dreams inside of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did that. Not that they become more important than him, but he's just showing I made you. I know you. I know your makeup. Who do you think gave these dreams to you?
Right.
Who do you think gave you desires in the first place? Who do you think gave you purpose and destiny? Me.
Yeah.
I am God. And we are his daughters. He's our father. He's our king. He's not going to let us down. He's just not going to do it.
No, he's not. Because he's a God. When he says something, he follows through on it. Okay. That's it. And you talked about how your book addresses the reality of pain and it provides essential tools for hurting individuals. So can you name just a couple, because we don't want to give away the book.
Right. Can't give away the book. Don't get to it.
Don't give just a couple, of the tools that you provide for individuals who are in pain and in search of healing.
One thing, I think the very first thing you have to do is identify what it is.
Yeah.
You can't heal something that you don't know what you're healing. You have to identify and admit I'm in trouble. You identify what this thing is. And then you have to be open for the instructions on how to get to step A. We want to go from A to Z in 2.5 seconds, and it's just not happening. How do I get from A to B? So when in these tools, I'll just give you this little bitty one.
Okay.
I do Fact Is, Truth Is. And the book is to help you change your perspective of how you see where you are. That yes, it's painful, it hurts, and some of this pain is years old.
Right.
Some of it is fresh. Nevertheless, it still hurts.
Yeah.
It hinders you. So in the book, I talk about fact is, truth is. The fact is your husband left you. You've been molested. You feel abandoned. Those things may be true. Most things may be facts.
Mm-hmm.
They may be true, excuse me. But the fact is Jesus is Lord. He is your husband.
Yeah.
He's your provider. He will protect you. We have to decide. It's a changing of the way you think and the way you see.
Mm-hmm.
So you always say, I'm just, I'm never going to come out of this. And you got to watch what comes out of your mouth. So the word of God is full of instructions.
Yeah.
On what to do next. And sometimes it can be as simple in Psalms where he just says, be still and know that I am God. Do you know how huge that is? Because when you're still and know that I'm God, you're inviting him in.
Yeah.
You're saying, okay, I'm going to be still and I'm going to watch you do your thing in me. So you identify where you are. You admit that it's you, that this is about you. You may not have caused it, but it's about you. And what is the purpose of the pain that you went through? There is a purpose in your pain, and you have to find out what that is.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Was that pretty good without
that
telling?
Was pretty good without
Okay.
telling it. Yep, you did good with that one. You did good with that one. And there's some truth. There's truth to what you said. And I like that fact is, truth is, because it's like, okay, fact, this is my circumstance, but what does God have to say?
What does he have to say? Because he has something to say about everything.
Absolutely. There's a quote. There's another quote. I'm looking over here, and it says, how is it that the one who often gives hope ends up feeling hopeless? Which means, you're the one that's encouraging everybody, but now you're in a place where you need some encouragement.
You go home alone, and you cry yourself to sleep, and you celebrate those that you've helped because you love them, and that's what's one thing that God has called me to. But it was what I was giving out. I didn't feel like I had. I feel like I gave everything of myself. I emptied out to the lives of other people because I didn't have, my marriage was over. I'm a single mom. How do I adapt to that? People will come to me with their ideas and I'm giving, okay, I'm going to connect you with this one, and we're going to make this happen. So I'm all in to somebody else's life. But I felt so empty. And I felt so alone. I knew the Lord was with me. But I was just like, this is not cool at all. It was very difficult. But you have to keep giving. Yeah. Because it's who you are. Yeah. You have to keep giving of yourself. And what you're doing, you don't realize it, you're sowing seeds. Yeah. And one man waters, one man plants, God brings the increase. Yeah. And as a result of me not, because I could have been real selfish and retrieved and held back everything. I could have just, no, I'm just not.
Sat back and waddled in it.
Yeah, you should know I'm hurting. Don't you know? I just went through a public divorce. Don't you know? I could have done all of that. Right, and that didn't help anybody. Right. But I gave, because for me, I wanted to see those couple make it so bad. I wanted them to have what I didn't, what I desired so. And I gave it because I loved them. I gave it because it was my heart. And I was sowing seeds.
Yeah, absolutely. As you were going, God was healing. because you didn't sit still. You were just continuing to go and move. And while you're moving, God's still healing. He's still, and sometimes we don't even realize it while we're helping this one. And it's just like God's doing something in us, and sometimes what the reality is, we get up and like you said, we encourage this one and encourage that one. And then you go back and you're like, oh, wow,
it's quiet.
It's quiet. And then you're like, but I feel broken, but I feel like I'm the one that needs prayer. I'm the one that needs your help. I'm the one. But when you're going forth and helping others, it's just like you're so like excited for them because God can. But then when you get all to yourself, like you said, and it's so quiet, and then you have your thoughts, and it's something because those are the times. But what we don't realize is bit by bit as we're continuously going.
And that's also where the enemy comes in the loudest.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever want you. This is your life. This is, see, you give them all that, but you're not getting it. Who's giving anything to you? All of that goes in here. And I learned I needed to drown out because at night was really difficult for me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I got it. So I would put on worship music and I would, and when the thoughts would come, I would just simply say, I cast down every vain imagination that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. I had to use the word.
The word.
I had to use it. And so I couldn't yield to my feelings.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, no, not today. And sometimes I would get up and I'm crying and it's like I'm feeling that pain. It feel like it's nice and fresh and you still got to get in the shower and you cry. You still got to put your makeup on and do your hair. And you still got to go. And by the time I get out the house, I'm good.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to cry it out and get my babies ready. Come on, y'all, let's go.
Right.
Keep it moving.
Moving.
It's tough. It's life. It's tough. And so when it happens, I just have to deal with it. Just deal with it. One thing that the Lord told me when I wrote, I think I was just about finished writing. And he told me I had to do it his way. And I wasn't quite sure what that meant. And when I was writing, while I'm writing, some feelings are coming back up I hadn't felt in years. I'm like, oh, wow, what is this? So I knew that's something he needs to work. And I was able to write it, but I had to do it his way, which means my goal, I never mentioned my ex name.
Right.
I did not discredit him.
Right.
It was not about him.
Exactly.
At all.
Yeah. Because it was your journey.
It was my journey.
Absolutely.
So then I began to understand, do it my way. Anybody can write about the junk.
Right.
It sells. Trust me.
Yeah. It's popular because everybody wants, and isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is. I've had people say, can I read the unedited script of your book? Get out of here. No.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Go away. No.
No. Is by you sharing your journey to wholeness. It's like a tool to help someone else going through the exact same situation or similar, because pain is pain.
Pain is pain. It has no gender.
Right. Absolutely not. And the thing about it is when you're going through that, it's something how God can use that. And he knew while you were sitting there, pen to paper, I'm going to use this to help somebody else.
Yeah.
I was on your website and I saw that you had a masterclass and I'm like, oh my gosh, it ended.
Yeah. Last night, my last class.
How did it go?
Oh my gosh. God, he just shocks me sometimes. He really showed up. I mean, wow. It was so amazing. From Texas, from Virginia, Atlanta, Tennessee.
Wow.
It was so good. This series was about being trustworthy,
Mm.
and God being trustworthy to us. And how to be trustworthy to one another. My
Mm-hmm.
classes are very practical. We just deal with real practical. We talked about what it is to be a confidant, what that means.
Mm.
We talked about sisterhood, what transparency looks like. You
Right.
know, being vulnerable.
Mm.
Stuff
That's
we
a good
don't.
one.
Yeah, being vulnerable. And it was so good. There was a lady on there who just to see her transform is amazing.
Wow.
I mean, it's just like, wow, God, because they're listening intently, and
Yeah.
they come ready, and we called it taking a deeper dive,
Deeper dive.
deeper
Okay.
dive, and we were just going deeper. We weren't doing anything surface. We were going deep into this thing about trustworthiness, what that really is.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Wow.
talked about the grudges we hold and the condition of our heart. And our heart is like a garbage disposal. If you don't get that junk out, you know what happens when your garbage disposal doesn't work?
Yeah, it starts to smell.
It starts to smell.
Mm-hmm.
So when you harden your heart and you carry these grudges, your heart is the valve. So it pumps fresh blood, fresh blood. Well, what's it going to pump if it's not?
Right.
You're not pumping life. You're angry. You're bitter. You're mad.
Mm-hmm.
We got to deal with that stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
Wow.
it
That
was
sounds
really
like,
good.
well, let me ask you this question. When are you gonna offer the next one?
Well, you know what? I had planned. I said, "Oh, maybe I'm coming back in a couple of months." They were like, "Oh no, we're not waiting." So it looks like I may do another one in May.
And I know that our audience is gonna get so much, from just basically you sharing your story today. But let's just say they want to find out more about you and your book and your journey and all of that. Where can they find you?
You can go to my website. It's
Uh-huh.
Debra Debra
Okay.
D, the middle initial D, Winans.com.
All right. All
Okay.
right. All right. So I'm going to actually post all of that on our
Okay.
website as well.
So
You've gone through so much, but you're taking all of that stuff that you've gone through, all of those challenging situations, all of that pain. And what you're doing is you're opening yourself up, total transparency, just to help others. And that is awesome. Now, there are some women, well, let's just say some people, okay, who are currently dealing with the pain. They're dealing with the anxiety, the stress that comes along with all of that, the heartache from an unwanted divorce. What do you tell them? I mean, what encouragement can you give them?
First of all, I would say to them that really your life is not over. I know it feels like it. I know it feels like your heart has been ripped out of your heart, out of your chest. But even though it feels that way, it's not going to always feel that way. And God, the great thing about God, He created the heart anyway. So He knows how to heal the heart.
That's right.
Listen, He knows how to heal our heart. And the great thing about it is you're not alone. And He wants you to run to Him in your brokenness. You find Him it's not about self-pity. It's not self-doubt. It is in your brokenness where you feel like, I don't know if I can breathe another day. He is there because His word says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I will be with you until the end of the age. He can't lie.
No, He cannot.
He cannot lie. It's over. Your life is hard. This has been rough. You got children. You got to figure it all out. You don't know what you're going to do. When you got to go to work, you got to go to business. You got bills. I mean, it's just stuff. It's stuff. But just stop for a minute and say, Lord, I need your help. And then He does things. He works through people.
Yes,
So
He does.
He'll send people to walk with you.
Mm-hmm.
He'll send you a great pastor. He'll send you a sister. He'll send you people. He'll cause people to rally around you, not to get in your business.
Right.
Because that's part of what my next book is about. But surrounding you with the right kind of relationships that will cause you to grow and flourish. And yet, they're there when you feel like you're going to break it down. You're going to break down, like you cannot go another step. They're there to catch you. They're there to cover you. And they're also there to bring healing to you. Trust God when you can't trace him, and watch what he does if you trust him. You will not be sorry. Your life will never be the same. Ever be the same.
But we really, really, really just want to thank you because, taking the time out just to share, to help someone else, that's just awesome. And I appreciate you. Exactly, right?
My reasonable service. That's what we're supposed to do.
That's it.
Also, I wanted to also say if they want to get my book, Cash App, it's the $ Debra Winans. It's $12.
Okay.
So put your address in the memo of the Cash App, and I will personally sign it to you.
Oh, so they get a signed autograph
and
copy.
If they order it from my website,
okay,
I'll personally sign it.
So just go right on
get it on Amazon.com. I can't sign it if you order it on Amazon.
Right.
But I can sign it for you if you order from my website and on my Cash App, and it's $12, and I'll get it to you now.
All right. Look at that. Now that's a blessing right there.
I love it.
So yes. And again, what's your website? One more time.
Debra D Winans.com.
DebraDWinans.com. You guys heard it. So if you want that signed copy.
Can't wait to hear from you guys.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. Thanks again.
You.
I appreciate you.
It's an honor. I appreciate it.
Yes.